Hi, and welcome back to Inspired Alchemy with Lizzie. This is episode 68, and I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. And I think I just want to talk to you about the energy of what has been lately. Um, I just came off a group coaching call. I'm doing group coaching with NLU for the fourth or fifth time. This is my second podcast accelerator, and I'm going to talk about resistance for a minute. I had a lot of resistance to it, not because I don't love them and not because I knew that it wasn't going to be beneficial for me, but right now my life is in chaos. And so I didn't know if I had the capacity. I know when I'm with them and I know when I'm in these containers, magic happens. And so I knew that I wanted to do it. I just didn't know if this time was the right time. And so I kept going over it in my head. And I finally was like, no, I really can't do it. And then an opportunity came up, and it was the universe telling me, we're giving you this opportunity. Are you going to resist and say you don't have the capacity? Or are you going to stop lying to yourself and realize it's time for expansion? You feel uncomfortable, so you're resisting. And yeah, part of it was also financial, right? But it's like when this opportunity presented itself for me to be able to do this, I was like, okay, I can't, I have to have the capacity now. And it was just some magic was happening. And being in the container today, I know I made the right choice. I know that everything happened the way that it was meant to. And I'm so grateful. I'm so freaking grateful. Sorry about that. I turned off notifications on my computer. I'm so grateful for this experience. And I know that it's the next step that I need to take in really my evolution for Inspired Alchemy, for Black Cathedral, for the podcast, for my life in general. Being in a and seeing the group of humans that is in this group, oh my, it's top, it's magical. Um, and it just feels so different. I've taken group coaching, like I said, a couple of times before. This is my second, like I said, podcast accelerator. The others were based on personal development, but this feels very different from any of the ones that I've done before. I was so nervous to even introduce myself, and I used to be on the NLU team. So it's not like they don't know me. They've known me for years. And I was like, okay, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And my body is actually telling me that. And I did not go into anxiety zone. Even though I was shaking and I was nervous and stuff, it wasn't like I went into anxiety zone. It was more like, yep, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be. Yes, I was in my growth zone. Uh, I don't know. I can't explain how it felt. And leading up to this has also been very interesting. And um, I guess it can kind of go into what happened leading up to this. I knew that something had to change. And I had had a couple of conversations, even the day that I got the opportunity to join this group. Um, and I had a lot of conversations with people about accepting help. And when you're first starting out in business, even though I've had it for a couple of years, it I've been in business for I think 4 or 5 years, and I've restructured a couple of times, but this is the biggest restructure I'm doing. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Like, this is not my wheelhouse. I'm like thinking to myself, and I'm like, I need help. And as I started doing that, I had people going, I want to help you. I have two amazing business partners. And I had to learn to accept help from them. They're like, we believe in your vision. We're going to build this with you. I feel guilty, yes. But at the same time, I also believe in the vision and the purpose. And so do they. I have another friend who's like, if you need any kind of video work done, let me help you. And while it feels scary, I'll take him up on that when I have some kind of vision that's not all crazy and jumbled in my head. And then I was having a conversation with a friend slash client. And she's like, hey, this was pinging me because I can definitely have conversation back and forth with people. It's like, hey, I feel this. Is this what you're feeling? Or I'm feeling some sort of way. I work with energetic people. I work with people who are highly intuitive. And for me to not accept or hear what they're trying to tell me would be hypocritical, right? So, hey, yes, let me hear your perspective. I want to hear exactly what you have to say, and I'm going to take that. And if it's true for me right now, cool. If it's not true for me right now, cool. Doesn't make you wrong. So she started talking to me about help. Oh, I don't know if you feel this sort of way. Do you still have problems accepting help? Because I was trying to help her with something. And it led into this whole conversation of you don't have to do this alone, all of this stuff, which I understand. And I have worked through a lot of that. But then it, it came to group coaching came up. And I'm like, oh, the universe is really trying to see if I practice what I preach. Am I willing to accept this help? I cannot look a gift in the face and not be like, oh, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So I did it. And it's very different for me because all of the other group coachings I did, I jumped into it. I just, whoop, head first. So this was very unlike me. So then I look back and I'm like, yes, this is exactly where I needed to be. This was a growth moment for me. All of that being said, there's so much coming that I can't even see yet. I see the vision of what I hope to happen. And I don't know how to get there quite yet. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were talking about how it's kind of like a map right now and things are kind of cloudy. So think of you are here on a map, right? Then you have all these little lines that are going to take you somewhere else. And then you see your destination. And while that destination might change, you still have an idea of what you want to do. Maybe you'll stay at a different hotel, maybe you'll go to different places in the area, but the vision itself, for me, is helping humans become their most magical, sovereign, most authentic self through alchemy, right? Doing that, I have to, I know that that's my goal, right? I don't know how to get there. And right now, that in between is kind of fuzzy. And that happens. And that's okay. It doesn't make it wrong. And it doesn't make you wrong or your dreams and your goals wrong. It just means that there has to be faith there. There has to be hope. And you have to be patient. And you have to surrender to what is. And I know that those words are going to trigger some people because for me, they used to trigger me. And sometimes when I'm really frustrated, they make me want to vomit. Right? When we were in group coaching tonight, they asked what the goal was, right? Like, what is one of our goals? And honestly, the goal that I came up with right before I started recording this was to start recording myself on camera. I don't know if that's going to take me way into my anxiety zone or not, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get my face out there. And it's really challenging. And that's even scary for me to share here because it It feels big, really big. But I also know that it's probably really a step I need to take. Now, am I going to start recording and have all my podcasts have videos on it for in 12 weeks? I don't know. But what might start happening is I might take a sustainable step. I might not just throw myself into that because I don't know if that's going to be sustainable. Maybe I'll start off with videos first. Small videos, which I've done before and I'm okay with that. I don't do them often. Maybe I'll have to start doing them every other day. And then I'll get to every day. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to look yet. But it's taking those small sustainable steps to get where you want to be. This is not about big, huge things that make you so anxious you're going to pass out, right? It's not about that. It's about those small, sustainable steps. And that's what I'm trying to do with my entire life because I've tried to go all in. And while, yes, it works sometimes because I'm a psychopath, right? Sometimes it does get to be a lot and you'll get burnt out or you'll start getting sick or whatever it is, right? So I've learned that it's just small, sustainable steps. I'm still a put me in coach type person. Like I'm ready, I'll do this. But at the same time, I also know that there is a balance that needs to be. And that's the small steps to get where you want to be. And signing up for group coaching was one of those things. And I had to listen to myself and I had to listen to my intuition. And when I checked in with myself and I'm like, is this going to serve my best and highest good? I got a yeah. With all of the other issues out of the way, it's like, hey, body, are we going to be able to have capacity to be able to do this? And it's like, might be tight, but yeah. Okay, cool. I have some really great people around me. I have a good support system. Again, is this going to serve my best and highest good? Yeah. All right, we're going to do this. Right? That was a put me in coach kind of moment. Yeah, this time it took me a little bit more time. But at the same time, I took those small sustainable steps to get me to that decision. I was able to do a lot quicker than I would have a couple of years ago. But I still did it. And it's funny because when I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, so I'm just going to hit record and start talking. I had a feeling beforehand it would be about group coaching because normally when I do group coaching, I do talk about it afterwards. So that's really interesting. The only other thing that I think that I have for you today, besides small sustainable steps, rest, taking care of yourself, listening to your intuition, gratitude, all of those things, right? Is things are kind of crazy right now. And I don't normally do energy updates like people do, but I'm seeing too much of certain things happen to not kind of say it out loud so that people don't feel so alone. Right now, people are having very vivid dreams. Dreams to where they know that they're dreaming, um, things that might not make sense. There's also this very subtle undercurrent of anxiety sometimes that might not even be yours. It might be the collective. There's a lot of deeper old wounds kind of surfacing for people and a lot of grief, um, anger, things like that. Very passionate kind of feelings coming to the surface. And I've said this before. It's not what you do with it's not the emotion, right? That's bad. So if you're feeling angry or you're seeing passion as bad or your sexuality or whatever it is, it's not that that is bad, right? And I don't want to say bad or good, right? Because we don't want to put labels on things because they are just what they are. But those things that are seen as bad, it's not that, it's what you do with it, right? So if you're mad, Are you going to alchemize that, or are you going to go punch somebody in the throat? Right? I do not suggest punching the person in the throat. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? I'm just putting that out there. No violence here. um do we want to sometimes? Yeah, sure. But do we do it? No. We lead from a place of love and compassion. And we have to alchemize those emotions, because that's just what alchemy is. you know? Um I don't know why that was a little weird for me to talk about, but it's not the emotion or the feeling or the thought. It's what you do with it. It's the same thing for good emotions, or good, and I say that in quotation marks, and thoughts and things like that. While they can bring us joy and all of these things, we also have to go, okay, we have a passion for something. It brings me joy. What am I going to do with that? I have a passion for helping human beings. I have a passion for seeing that magic turn on, and for them to realize that they are sovereign, and they can embody everything that they want to embody. When I see somebody go, "Oh my god," like, I'm regulating my nervous system. Heck yes. When I see somebody go, "Wow, that feels like freedom to be able to not run that loop anymore." My my soul just gets so happy. All of that, and I just got real excited about it, so I lost my train of thought. But anyways, that's why I do what I do. I don't know what I was talking about beforehand. My brain is like all over the place. Thank you for being here in the mess. I appreciate you all so much. And like I've said before, it might get a little bit messier. It might get a little bit crazier. My ADHD might just completely derail me sometimes. But thank you for being here in that. And yeah, I think that's all I have for you today. It's kind of a shorter one. Um, but just don't think you're alone in the things that you're feeling, because the undercurrent of everything is kind of crazy right now. And if you don't feel, and I said this before, if you don't feel like new year, new me, it's fine. It really is fine. We're in the dead of winter. If you feel like the new year for you starts technically on February 1st, cool. Like, don't push yourself so hard. And again, I don't believe in resolutions. I believe in goals, taking action, and, well, inspired action, because that's how Inspired Alchemy started. Taking inspired action when it feels good for you to do so. And I'm not saying comfortable, but you'll know in your body when you're ready. And again, that's working on your body and your nervous system and all of that stuff to feel that. But don't let everybody kind of tell you what you're supposed to be doing right now. It might technically be a new calendar year, but if you're not ready to start that until February or March or the end of January, cool. Do what you need to do. It always feels like things are such a mess for me, but this is how I get my voice out there. This is how I get my crazy brain out there. And for those of you who stick around, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I love and appreciate each and every one of you. In a world and in a society that likes to tell us that we are broken, something's wrong with us, we're disconnected, we're divided, please know that we are not disconnected, we are not divided, nothing's wrong with you, and you are not broken. We are unbecoming everything that we have been told to be, and we are finding our authenticity, and we are becoming sovereign, and we are just becoming who we are meant to be. And you spending your time with me, I don't take that lightly. It's a precious resource we can't get back. And the fact that you spend 20 something minutes with me whenever these come out, or if you play it on fast and you spend it 10, I appreciate all of that. Thank you for being here. And if you're here, you're an alchemist. And I want you to know you're not alone and to keep going because you're worthy of everything that you want in this life and you're capable. And if somebody hasn't told you today, I believe in you. Until next time, keep creating alchemy.